G'day and welcome to Wives and Girlfriends of F1 Drivers 2023. In this video, you are going to meet 13 of the drivers' girlfriends, and they include a number of models, a professional cyclist, a TV reporter, a professional golfer, and 4 mums. So if you're ready, let's get started. First up, let me say it amazes me the amount of interest this video gets. Every year, 1 million plus views. I can't tell you why you're so interested in this content, but as long as you are, I'll continue to provide it for you. But remember, these videos date quickly. I remember last year with Lando Norris's girlfriend, a week after I posted my video, it was outdated. So while it's fresh today, bear in mind that at some point it will date. This year, 3 drivers have new love interests and 2 have reverted to single status. And there's no doubt that the very busy, non-stop lifestyle of an F1 driver makes it very tricky to maintain a relationship. And if you hark back to my previous videos earlier this year, and I'll put a link in the description below, you want to have a look at this one. It's well worth a watch. Which driver should I do first? George Russell, okay. His girlfriend is Carmen Montero Mundt. The first time Carmen was spotted at a race was back in 2020 at the Tuscan GP. The pair have been together since. She lives in London, works in finance, has a stylist, and a couple of Insta fan pages devoted to her. When she's not accompanying George around the paddock, and let's face it, a driver spends most of their time away from their girlfriends in the paddock, she's with Harry Soden, who is George's manager. Pair get on famously. I often see her out in the paddock enjoying the atmosphere. In fact, I got wet with her in 2022 at the Spanish GP when George sprayed bubbly on us below. If you met her, you'd love her. She's a good-natured, down-to-earth woman who really enjoys that F1 paddock buzz. Next up, Pierre Gasly's girlfriend, Francisca Gomes, or Kika, as she's known. She's a stylish Portuguese fashion model in her early 20s. The pair started going out last year, that's 2022, and prior to Kika, Pierre was in a relationship with 2 Catarinas. Caterina Massetti-Zanini, who now goes out with IndyCar driver Callum Ilott, and Katerina Brezhnev. The first time I met Kika was in Abu Dhabi last year, and she is a power of fun. And in fact, her dad is a professional driver, and he's at a lot of F1 races doing hosting duties. This is Gonzalo Gomes, and he is a very smooth character. Harking back to Miami this year, I was walking backwards shooting Pierre as he arrived one morning, and he said, "Hey, Kim, the photo's behind me." And it turns out he was right. It was Kika behind him. And her presence on social media has grown dramatically since she started going out with Pierre. And I think at the British race, Pierre and I were chatting about her. And he said, well, she's even got paparazzi following her, which I actually did realise because I saw these pictures pop up from Spanish paparazzi when she was in Madrid. She's been to numerous races this year, and she is very much part of Team Gasly. I think I can say without any doubt she is the golden girl amongst this group and is the perfect companion for Pierre. Next up, Fernando Alonso. When I first entered F1, Fernando was with model Linda Morcelli, but last year he was dating Andrea Schleger, an Austrian TV presenter. The first time we saw the pair of them was in the 2022 Miami GP. And that was pretty much the official announcement of their relationship. But that lasted for just shy of a year, and today he's rumoured to be seeing 35-year-old Spanish TV presenter Melissa Jimenez. She was married to a Spanish footballer. She's great fun, super popular in her own right. Look at this, 650 plus thousand Insta followers, many of whom watch her on the DAZN network. Next up, Carlos Sainz, who last year was dating Isa Jimenez from Madrid. The last time I saw Isa was at the track in Bahrain earlier this year. Recently, he's been keeping company with Scottish model Rebecca Donaldson. He spent some time with Rebecca during the break, and I know this because, well, the WAG sites, the Wives and Girlfriends Instagram sites are all over it. Now, I spoke to Rebecca in Monaco when she attended that race earlier this year. You might remember that I featured her in my Women of the Paddock post then. She was delightful and certainly enjoying the Monaco atmosphere. And while I photographed her that day, and obviously Carlos every day, I've not sighted the pair together in the paddock, and that typically is the confirmation of a relationship. But Rebecca is an F1 fan, and I would not be surprised if the pair popped up together in the second half of this season. And at this point, I'll remind you that if you're looking for a gift for yourself or an F1 fan, go to my shop at kimelman.com and have a look at the signed prints. I work with a number of drivers, and they sign a number of prints, all individually numbered, and you can actually own one of those by heading to kimelman.com, clicking on the shop, going to signed prints and having a look at what's on offer at the time you're ready to buy. And remember, you get a digital image of the driver signing your numbered print for irrefutable proof of authenticity. back to a wife now, and Sergio Perez is married to Carola Martinez. The pair met in a disco many years ago. They had their first child, Sergio Jr., in 2017. They were married in 2018. Their second child, Carlotta, was born in 2019, and Emilio in May 22. The last time I saw Carola was in the paddock in Austria. Yeah, this year, yes. And she's heavily pregnant. So by the time you watch this video, perhaps she's had her fourth child. Our sixth driver is Charles Leclerc, and this is his girlfriend, Alexandra. The first time I met Alexandra was in Monaco this year. She spends her time between Monaco and Paris. My first pics of her were in Monaco on the top of the garage, where she was obviously a guest of Ferrari. At this time, the pair were keen to keep the relationship under wraps, but the WAG sites, yeah, they were all over it very quickly. I'm recording this video in the middle of August, and by now it's common knowledge. The pair have been together for a number of months. He previously went out with Charlotte Sine, and prior to that, Giada Giannini, and both of those young women were Monaco residents. She's more the quiet achiever and the stylish dresser, who's a popular addition to the F1 paddock. Does Oscar Piastri have a girlfriend? Yes, and she is a Brit, Lily Zneimer. They've been going out for some years now, and I met Lily first time in Australia in 2022, back when Oscar was a reserve driver for Alpine. Lily's polite, quiet, classy, and by the time you watch this, has probably graduated with a degree in engineering. She wants to get a job in F1, and with her contacts, you'd have to say she rates a pretty strong chance. They are a delightful couple. I've met all of the women that you're going to meet in this group today at the track, and typically where do they watch the race from? Well, they are normally guests of the team, so their pass doesn't include any seats where they can watch the race, so typically they'll sit in the hospitality suite and watch it on TV, or go to the garage during pit stops and at the end of the race, because if their boyfriend ends up on the podium, they are allowed to accompany the team down to Parc Fermé, where they can watch the goings-on from ground level. Kevin Magnussen is our second married driver. He's married to Louise, and they have, at the moment, 2 daughters. I first photographed Louise, I think in Germany 2018, when she dropped Kevin off at the track. Not a great picture of her. And last year we chatted in Bahrain, where she was at the track after Kevin's impressive performance with Haas after the late call-up. In Spain, I asked her to do a portrait shot, but she said she didn't like posing for pics. Anyway, I got some nice pics, and a few weeks later in France, she was all smiles and happy to pose. She's a fun woman who comes to the occasional race each year. Our current world champion, Max Verstappen, is in a relationship with 34-year-old Kelly Piquet. Yes, the daughter of F1 great Nelson Piquet. They've been going out since 2020. He was in a relationship with Dilara Sandlik previously. Kelly was in a relationship too previously with Daniil Kvyat. He has the largest social media audience of this group, with over 1.2 million followers. It's not often, though, that Kelly walks in with Max. She'll often come later in the day, but post-race, she'll be one of the first in Parc Fermé to welcome the winner, and at the moment, that's Max just about every week. Daniel Ricciardo's back on the grid with AlphaTauri, and he goes out with Austrian actress 26-year-old Heidi Berger. They've been going out for some 4 years now. Yes, she is the daughter of F1 driver Gerhard Berger. The first time I noticed Heidi in the paddock was in Austria in 2021, when she arrived with her dad. In Saudi in 2022, she rolled up on Sunday with luggage, both hers and Daniel's, so that pretty much confirmed their status as a couple. She also accompanied Daniel to the Melbourne Grand Prix and spent some time with Daniel's family in the McLaren motorhome, and then popped up in Monaco this year. Heidi is a classy dresser with a positive disposition. Here's the first of 2 professional athletes. This is Lily He, who goes out with Alex Albon from Williams. She's a pro golfer. Born in Chengdu, China, grew up in Canada, and discovered Alex via social media, and the pair met a couple of months after that. They are a terrific couple. Youthful, fun, often smiling for my lens, and I look back at these pictures from Montreal this year, where Alex finished 7th, and these are some of my most popular pics of the pair on social media. And before I get to my second professional athlete, the question I'll ask is, when did these wives and girlfriends become so popular on social media? Well, Drive to Survive introduced a number of them to us, and from that point on, it pretty much just skyrocketed. And since I started shooting F1 in 2017, I've just seen more and more young women swooning over drivers at the track. The drivers are now treated like rock stars. Many are simply fixated with these drivers, and unfortunately, drivers tell me some rather bizarre stories of the lengths women will go to attract their attention. But Perhaps that's a story for another video. Valtteri Bottas goes out with 35-year-old pro cyclist Tiffany Cromwell. She's from Adelaide, Australia, same as me. Pops up at a lot of races. She met Valtteri through mutual friends in Monaco and both love cycling. Tiffany did tell me once that although Valtteri is strong and has improved his cycling, endurance wasn't his strength. She lives in Monaco with Valtteri, travels the world cycling, and her dad Mike comes to some races. I enjoy chatting with him, being a fellow South Australian. Previously, Valtteri was married to a professional swimmer, Emilia, but the pair split in 2019. An ex-driver is Nico Hulkenberg, married in 2021 to Lithuanian beauty Egle, also known as Sunny. Have a daughter, Noemi, born September 21, and you might know Sunny as the crochet girl. She crochets all sorts of outfits and sells them online, and she made me this bucket hat. Gave it to me in Miami this year. Thank you. Next up is Lando Norris, who was going out with Louise for, I guess, about 6 months. The first time I saw her was at post-season training in 2021, but the pair split mid-year in 2022. Zhou Guanyu, does he have a girlfriend? Look, I'm going to say yes, but I can't tell you anything about her. I was asked, it was probably several months ago now, not to post any pictures of her for a reason I won't go into any detail about. But this is a silhouette shot of the woman that I think Zhou is going out with. Yuki Tsunoda, does he have a girlfriend? Well, somebody said that in an interview he remarked yes, but I've never seen him with anyone at the track. Next up, Esteban Ocon, who was going out with Elena Berry for most of the time that I've been in Formula One, but the pair have split. Last time she was at the track was in Abu Dhabi last year. Lance Stroll, similar story, was going out with model Sarah Pagliaroli, but the pair separated. Last time I saw her at the track was in Miami in 2022. That leaves us with two drivers, and I'll go next to Lewis Hamilton. And in all my time photographing F1, 6 seasons, I've never seen him with anyone at the track. Yes, he's had guests there, but no real evidence of any relationship. Although there was that story about Lewis and Shakira. I was actually outside that restaurant in Barcelona when Shakira, Neymar, Mbappe, Rhys James, Lewis, all walked out of that restaurant, but I don't think there's anything to that. And lastly, Logan Sargent, well, he's single as far as I can tell, although don't be suckered in to a couple of stupid websites that have obviously got onto a story and just copied each other, because he was never going out with Lily Zneimer. That is indeed Oscar Piastri's girlfriend. You now know everything about all 20 drivers. But there's one thing I'm going to ask you to do before you leave. Could you please like this video? And I know that some of you aren't yet subscribed. Why? Please hit the subscribe button and become a member for a whole host of extras. A reminder too that you can find all of my digital images at prostarpics.com. Go to kimillman.com for merchandise, F1 photo books from your favourite driver or race, signed prints from drivers and team principals, and a range of merchandise. And for my best images from the track and during the week, go to Instagram and search @KimIllman. Thanks for watching and stay passionate. Now let's start all over again. No. Oh, fuck.